It's a quick turnaround for the Nats. Welcome to Tropicana Field in St. Pete, Game 2 of the short series. Caps fans are here. We know they're Nats fans as well. And look at us. We're in St. Pete watching the Nats, and we're very happy as a broadcast crew that they are here supporting our ball club. Bob and FP, afternoon game, early start. And by the time this road trip is over, the Nats will be beyond halfway. This is game number 78 today, so we're in that go zone. Things need to start happening.
I think they're in a dangerous position right now. This whole thing, we're going to be okay, we're going to be okay, we're going to get healthy. Nobody else cares that the Nats are banged up. Nobody else cares that the Nats are struggling. The Braves and Phillies are for real. It's almost July. They're 4 games back. Enough of this, we have plenty of time stuff. There has to be a sense of urgency right now. The Nats have to start winning some ball games.
Yeah, good time for it. Braves had a walk-off win last night. They're 4 up on Washington. Anthony Rendon's doing his part. He's batting .375 recently. And FP, he's piling up the extra base hits. He's back among the league leaders in doubles.
Yeah, I mean, he's locked in right now. I can't say enough about what he's done the last 17 games. .375 average, 14 RBIs, got the 9-game hitting streak going. He's playing fantastic defense at third. He had the big game on the big stage the other night on Sunday Night Baseball. And people need to start thinking about Anthony Rendon as an all-star. He had the vote-in thing a couple of times, but that's a bunch of nonsense. Nats fans know, we know, he's one of the best players in the National League. And in the Midsummer Classic in his own ballpark, he deserves some national recognition. So I'm going to start pounding the drum. Not that I have any influence in it, but Anthony Rendon, as you look at the numbers, deserves to be a National League all-star.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, it's up to him. He's ahead of Nolan Arenado in several key categories. He plays every day like a Gold Glover. The guy's made 1 error all year long. Now let's turn to the pitching. Since Steven Strasburg went on the DL, the Nats starters are 0-9. Now Max has a couple of those losses, but those have been for lack of run support. This guy keeps getting it done, and somebody needs to rally around him.
Yeah, I mean, the Nats have hit Nathan Eovaldi pretty well over the past and in history, and Max Scherzer on the mound today. Aces stopped losing streaks. Even though it was just a bad one last night, it feels like it was more than that. So you got your guy on the mound today, and you're hoping for good things if you're the Nats.
Yeah, he's making his 4th attempt at his 11th win. He's all the way up there in innings, opponent's batting average, strikeouts, you name it. And Max Scherzer is doing it. More on the Nats star right-hander straight ahead. Noon baseball, the Nats and the Rays. Tropicana Field, lots of curly W's in the house. Nats will need their support. Max Scherzer against the Rays back on June 5th. The Nats won the game 4-2. Max was outstanding. Couple of earned runs in 8 innings, outdueling Nathan Eovaldi. The Nats got some runs against him. And it was kind of cool because it was Max turning it right over to Doolittle. Rest of the bullpen had the night off. In that game, no walks, 13 strikeouts. How about a baker's dozen with the strikeouts on audio here? $32,000 of you saw that, 165. It was awesome that evening. Max got a little support early from a Matt Adams home run. Really all he needed to eventually win the game and take care of the Rays.
Those numbers down below, you kidding me? Against the American League, last 10 starts, 111 strikeouts, 8 walks. Unbelievable stuff. His 13.46 strikeout per 9 average right now, if the season ended, would be the best in Major League history. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, not a typo. Strikeouts and walks. It's all accurate. So the doctor got the ball that night, and he got the save on 7 pitches, 5 strikes in the 9th inning. He's a guy who shows his emotion, loves the fastball. 1.60 ERA, he's 21 out of 22. Hey, why not Max? Hand it over to the doctor again today. The Nats need this one to head on to Philly with momentum. By PNC Bank. There's no better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day. And by American Standard Heating and Air. Find your local independent American Standard Heating and Air dealer at midatlanticcomfort.com. Smoking outside, clear skies, 88 degrees. A lot more comfy inside here. Rays at home now with a good record of 19-16. Nats are 22-16 on the road. And against right-handed starters, they're very good. A .623 winning percentage last night and this season, not so well against lefties. The Nats, only the Pirates have more wins in interleague play than the Nationals. They're 10-2, and the Rays not doing well interleague. Last night, their first win, but they've beaten the Nats here most of the time over the years. So here's the lineup. Washington 11th in the league in hitting, 10th in runs, 8th in home runs, and Juan Soto averaging a hit per game. Salvaged the streak, kept it alive with a knock in the 9th inning here last night. Daniel Murphy back in at first base. Adam Eaton DH in the 9-hole yesterday. He's leading off today. And here's Nathan Eovaldi, 2-5 career against the Nats.
And there's the arsenal for Eovaldi. The fastball go between 94 and 99. He's thrown 13 fastballs this year at 99 miles an hour. So y'all know about his heater. He's got some good secondary pitches to go with it. Having a tough June, however, 0-3 with a 6.17 ERA overall in 4 June starts. The defense behind Evaldi today for the Rays. Wendell, Kiermaier, Smith, the outfield. Echeverria, Robertson up the middle. Duffy, Bowers at the corner. And Wilson Ramos, a couple of home runs last night doing the catch. And how about Echeverria this year? 42nd game at shortstop for the Rays. He hasn't made an error this year.
Yeah, Rays are a solid defensive team. They're in the middle of the American League. The Nats are in the top 3 in the National League. Evaldi, 35th pitcher in baseball to return after multiple Tommy John surgeries. So Kevin Cash had to wait a while to get him. He made 4 rehab starts. His last one 4 innings. May 23rd, and this will be his 6th start at the big league level this year. Last time out, 4 runs, 7 hits, and 6 innings at Houston. Everybody in the lineup has faced him before. Adam Eaton. Got some good matchup numbers coming up. Tell you about those in a minute. Eaton at 306 as he steps in, and we're underway at 12-11 with strike 1. Adam 22 for 72, playing in his 22nd game.
Yeah, normally at first day you're just easing into a game, trying to figure out starting pitcher. You face a guy like Evaldi a bunch. You got Max Scherzer on the mound going for you. You can win a ball game in the first inning.
2-1. Yeah, well said. Hopefully well executed by the Nats here, who were so good first month and a half of the season with early offense. Eaton will pop it straight up, and the only reason I see it's because I never took my eyes off the ball. You talked about the roof here. 1 out for day games. Now let's have a look at our Wells Fargo a look ahead. Harper, Rendon, Murphy have really good career numbers against today's starter. So Bryce a homer of his 7 hits, Rendon an RBI with his 8, and then Daniel Murphy down in the number 5 spot, 8 hits, a homer, 4 RBIs. He'll be batting behind Soto. Murph's starting to really show signs of life with the bat. He's a hit away from getting over 200, and then he can take it from there.
Murph looked like he needed a cup of coffee. It's an early start.
You know what? Murph always looks like he needs a cup of coffee to me.
He'll be ready when he steps in that box. I'll tell you that right now.
He's in frozen study mode right now. He is eyeballing everything Nathan Evaldi does. On a pitch up, Bryce fouls it off to the left. Had a walk his first time up last night. Strikeout, grounder, and then Davey Martinez, as the game developed into a blowout, got him off his feet for the last 3 innings. On a pitch, diving down and away, swing and a miss, 2 down.
Might have been the split from Evaldi. It's one of his better pitches. You remember when he was at Marlin, it was just fastball, fastball, fastball. He tried to overpower you with triple digits. He's developed some secondary pitches when he was a Yankee, so that's the split. Opponents are now 3 for 21 against that pitch this year.
Here's Anthony Rendon. Up to 21 doubles now, and he's 3rd in the league. Took him a while to start generating those extra base hits. His 9-game hitting streak, he's averaging a hit and a half per game. And really more than that, almost 2 hits per game, 15 hits in his last 36 at bats. Fastball up in the zone, 1-1. So 8 hits against Evaldi, who's also walked him 4 times. High in the air, this one slicing into the right field corner, and Malik Smith runs into the barrier, goes right over it, and appears to be all right. Never made any attempt to slow down. Now, you talked about the warning track here. He kind of knows his own ballpark, but it is different here.
Well, he plays a lot of center field, too, and probably not used to negotiating corners. And if you're just watching your first game here at this ballpark, that's just painted dirt warning track. So a lot of times the outfielder, you feel that dirt on your cleats from the grass. You can feel the change in texture underneath you. Here you can't. And he's okay. He's alive. We're good.
Yeah, he's going to live to tell the tale. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rendon. Anthony gets jammed and pulls it off to the left. I haven't seen the center fielder play Anthony Rendon this much to the other side before. Count goes to 2-2. Kevin Kiermaier probably 40 feet toward the gap in right center from straight away.
Well, you got a guy that throws almost triple digits. Maybe that's the reasoning. And Anthony Rendon does hit a lot of balls to right center, but he also hits his fair share the other way too, to left center.
Yeah, I think when he's locked in, we're looking at deep left center from this guy. All right, he's hitting 289. He's going to keep this at bat alive. Little noise in the yard today. Bunch of campers are here. Different colored t-shirts all over the ballpark. Nice atmosphere. Ah, they got the thunder sticks.
And they're fully loaded right now.
Yeah, my favorite thing at a ballpark, thunder sticks. Left side, Matt Duffy. 1-2-3 first for Nathan Eovaldi. Took him just over a dozen pitches. So some of the Nats fans still coming in. Game started, guys. Come on. Average 252 in the American League, 11th in runs, bottom 3 in homers, but you wouldn't know it by watching Wilson Ramos last night. Went deep twice, and now in his last 10 games he's gone 3-7 with the power numbers, batting .364. They're really touting him as an all-star here, and why not? He's the guy their offense revolves around right now. And here's Max Scherzer, 9 career starts against Tampa Bay, 5-2 with a .282 ERA.
At 6'3", 210, 33 years old. No decision last start against Baltimore.
First pitch of the game, a base hit. Kevin Kiermaier. Big round to first.
But you knew you had to stop when you're introducing Max Scherzer, because we've been seeing this the last 3 or 4 starts. Teams coming out trying to ambush Max. See opponents hitting 173. Righty's just 142. 26 for 183. That's the best in baseball with a 199 on base percentage.
Max's last start Thursday, Jace Peterson did the same thing to him in the top of the first when the Orioles were in. There's Matt Duffy. Along with Ramos, their hottest hitter. 5-game hitting streak with 7 hits over that time. In this ball yard, he's hitting .333.
Coming into this contest, 1,704 pitches for Max this year. 1,704, 69% of those strikes.
Short lead by Kiermaier. That was his first career hit, by the way, in 7 plate appearances against Scherzer. Matt Duffy's 3 for 5 against Max. No way to reach that one.
I think the old Max Scherzer, maybe even as close back as when he's with the Tigers, would show you a fastball first time through and then would save the secondary pitches. But now with the teams coming out trying to ambush him, nobody wants to get to 2 strikes, obviously. He leads the world in strikeouts. So you're seeing him go to his slider and his changeup a lot earlier than he used to.
And the 0-2.
And his stuff is so good, Carv. He didn't need to save it for the second and third time through. He could show it all early. He could show his whole hand early. You still don't know when it's coming, and you don't know where it's going a lot of times.
One ball, 2 strikes. Long hold here, and time given to the hitter. Alfonso Marquez is the crew chief. 20 years in the big leagues. He has the plate today. Around the bases, Roberto Ortiz, Bruce Dreckman, and Chad Fairchild. Off speed, blocked by Severino. By the time Duffy got to that ball, right off the end of the barrel.
Defense for the Nats behind Max today. Soto, Taylor, Harper, the outfield. Turner, Defoe gonna turn some 2s today for Max. Rendon, Murphy at the corners, and Pedro Severino. 12 o'clock start after a night game beyond the plate.
Yeah, both catchers answering the bell for a day game.
Well, I think it's important for the Nats with a day off tomorrow to play as hard as you can into that off day.
Good call.
You know, tough schedule, right? You got the Sunday night baseball game, get in at 6 a.m., play yesterday, 12 o'clock start, but you got an off day tomorrow. So play hard into that off day and rest and relax and catch up tomorrow.
2-2 with nobody out. A lot of fans yesterday saying, well, how in the world can you play a game in a different city after you've played a Sunday night game? And I understand your frustration. The answer is
airplanes.
ESPN picks their games in December. By then, next year's schedule's already been out for about 2.5 months. Now, they could look for teams that have days off on Mondays to pick those games, but they're after ratings and they want the highest rated teams they think will get the biggest audience. And, you know, fortunately our ball club's in that category, but there is a certain extent where every team is going to have a problem with that because their schedule is far preceded by the regular season schedule put out by Major League Baseball.
Wow, Phillies got their first hit in the 6th last night. Nats got theirs in the 7th.
Yeah. Three balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. And Duffy just taking where the pitches go, and he's staying alive here.
Well, a lot of times a good indicator on what kind of stuff Max has is how long hitters stay in at bats. You usually don't see him hang around very long when he's got his A stuff going on. Early, settling in, but something to keep an eye on.
So Max's 4th attempt at number 11. First in the league in wins, 2nd in ERA, 1st in innings and strikeouts, and on base, or rather opponents' batting average. And right now, with 1 strikeout today, he's 10 away from reaching a real milestone as a Washington National. More on that as the afternoon goes on. 3-2 again. Right side, what an at bat by Matt Duffy. Heading for third easily, Kiermaier. And the Rays have a corner situation to start their day.
Put a star by that at bat. 10-pitch single for Matt Duffy. You don't see hitters have 10-pitch at bats at all against Max Scherzer. His 18.5 swinging strike rate leads all of baseball. So the fact that he fouled off a bunch of pitches and finished a 10-pitch at bat with a base hit was very impressive. Good at bat.
Next up, Jake Bauers took his walk-off homer against the Yankees Sunday right into last night's game. Went 4 for 4, 3 singles, a double, drove in a run. Only guy in their lineup who hasn't seen Max before in person.
Yeah, by far their hottest hitter.
Nationals will trade a run for a double play ball here.
Yeah, Max having to dial up, go to his A+ stuff red line a little bit here, probably a little sooner than he was expecting.
Big time power on deck. There's the ball pulled to the right side. Tifo, Turner, and beating it rather easily, Jake Bauers. Rays lead 1-0 on Bauers' fielder's choice, his 7th RBI.
It wasn't struck firm enough to turn too, even on this lightning quick infield here at the Trop. Good feed. Bauers just too fast, put the ball in play. It's good at bat.
Here's Wilson Ramos. Overall batting average .293, but he likes the Trop. .330 here at home. 1 for 5 career against Max. So 13 homers with his pair last night. Hit 22 for the Nationals 2 years ago before getting hurt right in the last week of the season.
Well, when you think of Max, you don't think of a ground ball pitcher, but if you think of Wilson Ramos, you think of double plays. Seems like he hit into a lot of them as a National, and he's hit into a lot of them this year.
Nats have turned 60 on the year. That one a mile high to the right side. Looking up, Murphy and Defoe. Daniel will one-hand it. 2 down. Joey Wendell next, the left fielder. Wow, Led Zeppelin guitar solo, his walk up. 1 for 3 against Max. He's hitting .262.
Strong.
Whole lot of love.
Strong walk-up song.
It's the first song I ever heard in true stereo. Remember the moment to this day. Slightly to pull with Turner shaded up the middle. The Nats infield. Looks like he went, breaking ball in the dirt. And it'll go to 1-1 here. inside edge. The setup by Severino on 2-1.
I remember last time he faced the Rays, he was talking about making that adjustment where he came set and held his hands higher, kind of got him online on playing more downhill with all of his pitches. You see him coming set right around there. Used to be a little bit lower than that.
And the curveball stays way up and away, and that'll give Jake Bauers a head start at first base here with 2 outs. Murphy backs up behind the runner. 3-2 pitch and back to Scherzer. Max will lob it over to Daniel Murphy. Joey Wendell's 0 for his last 13. Juan Soto looking for a 10-game hitting streak. He's next in the second. He lives down here and wants to sport the race colors as well.
Tighten it up.
He's going to stroll over and check it out.
Nope. No.
Put it away. Put it back.
No. No. Nope. Bad luck.
He knows we're watching. Top of the second, Juan Soto. 34 hits in his first 32 big league games. Checks in at 324. And in the game against Nathan Eovaldi, he went 1 for 1 with a walk. Second inning infield hit, fourth inning walk, scored a couple of runs as the Nats beat the Rays on Tuesday, June 5th, 4-2. The rookie pulled out of there, thought the pitcher was getting a little too fast for him, and he got time from Alfonso Marquez.
Yeah, he looked up and he was already in his delivery. Do you think it's a stretch to say Juan Soto should be an all-star?
32 games in, I have to be frank and say yes.
Yeah,
Now 50 games in, keeps doing what he's doing.
People are talking about it.
They should be. It's always exciting to have young blood in the All-Star game. I mean, Bryce Harper, a prime example of that back in 2012. He made the squad. Called up at the end of April. Soto, of course, even later than that.
I mean, his at-bats are must-see TV. He definitely wouldn't embarrass himself in an all-star game. He hasn't been fazed by the spotlight at all. The bigger the light, the better he's been. Just go back to Yankee Stadium. I don't know. I'm on board with it.
Now with the left-handed batter in there, Kevin Kiermaier's playing about 80 feet away from where he was playing Rendon. Look where he is toward left center. Makes a lot of sense because Juan Soto hits so many extra base hits to that gap out there. So they're trying to squeeze that area as much as they can.
I think he needs to go 3 outfielders in left center. We saw Houston go 4-man outfield. Do you think you'll ever have a dramatic outfield shift like your infield shift? Just, you know, put the right fielder over here.
Yeah. Well, Wilmer Defoe got a game-winning hit against the Phillies, who had 2 outfielders when they crowded the infield that day. That's Sunday at home. Soto went, couldn't stop, and he strikes out. That's 2 Ks. First 4 batters for Nathan Eovaldi.
How about Murph Sunday night with the game winner? They walked Juan Soto, the Phillies did, to get to Daniel Murphy, and then he knew about the slider. Not that he was sitting on it, but look at that swing. I mean, that's about 3 inches off the plate. You talk about just finessing one out there and winning a ball game. Big hit for Daniel Murphy, big knock for the Nats. And the emotion from Murph was like, you're going to walk a 19-year-old to get to me? All right, let's play.
That one's popped up left side for Matt Duffy. 5 in a row set down by Eovaldi. Check out Nats Pass. Attend Nationals games whenever you want. $65 for the month of July. Red Sox, Marlins, Braves, Mets when they come to town. It's available exclusively through the MLB Ballpark app, so download it, start enjoying unlimited Nationals baseball. Trey Turner, 264. 9 hits his last 7 games. Eovaldi really working quickly here. He's wanting to get this inning over and get his guys back in the dugout. Wow, off-speed diving on Turner. 6 up, 6 down. 1-0 Rays early in game 2.
Some work for the Nationals that didn't require him throwing a baseball or putting on his spikes. It was the first night of the first-year player draft, and general manager Mike Rizzo had Max into the Nats war room near the clubhouse. He showed Scherzer video of 3 or 4 pitchers, guys the Nats thought might still be available when they picked 27th overall. Scherzer broke down the film, shared his thoughts on the pitchers, and according to Rizzo, the one that he liked best was the one the Nats ended up picking, Mason Denneberg. And the Nats valued Scherzer's opinion on it because Rizzo says he understands pitching on a broad scheme, not just himself, but the mechanics of pitching in general. So an interesting thing there, guys. Max being a little bit of a draft analyst himself.
Well, it's a good resource to have at your disposal. Of course, Max Scherzer knows if somebody's got it or not. Pedro Severino had a chance. Hit his glove, and you see the frustration. Did he hurt his hand? He's still shaking it out the plate.
Yeah, kind of right around the little corner there where the cameras are. Home plate end of the Tampa Bay dugout. C.J. Cron, the DH, is the hitter. And Max gets his first strikeout today.
That last first inning was the first time this year Max Scherzer did not strike out a guy in the first inning. I thought it was the case. The guys researched it in the break, and that was the first time all year he didn't have a strikeout in inning number 1, but he starts inning number 2, where he's used to being.
Yeah, good stuff. And then they found that it went a month back into last season. September 2nd of 17, the last time before today that Max did not have a strikeout in the first inning. Here's Daniel Robertson, the second baseman. Last night he started in left, went to third base, and today he's playing second. 2-0. And he misses on 3 heaters in a row. Robertson 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts against him. Interesting. When do you ever see that? Only Max's 25th strikeout of the year in 109 plus innings. Pardon me, walk. So 1 strikeout today, 162 and 25 walks. He's got me so brainwashed I'm calling walks strikeouts.
Understandable.
Number 8 hitter is Malik Smith. He can run. He has 14 stolen bases. Doesn't hit for power much, but along with 2 other Rays, Duffy and Ramos, really likes this ballpark. 371 at home this year, ball 1.
His first big league hit against Max Scherzer, infield single. His second at bat as a Brave, and then he tried to steal second. Helmet hit him in the nose and had to leave the game after his first big league knock. He was bleeding.
Well, Max had to shut it down and kind of collapsed on that back leg there. He thought that was very late for Alfonso Marquez to give time.
These are the games when you usually see Max just grind. And what I mean by that is he puts his hard hat on, brings his lunch pail, and finds a way to beat you when he doesn't have his awesome command or his A+ stuff.
Yeah, you think you're going to get a heater on 2-0, right?
Well, I mean, he's so far along in his career, obviously 33 years old, he can adjust his mechanics mid-game. He knows what's going on. Nobody knows all the things he's got going on in his delivery more than he does. If you talk to him, I mean, he breaks it down so fine. He knows what he's doing wrong right now, and he's trying to fix it in game, which isn't easy to do.
And a ball hit high in the air right center. Bryce Harper checking his surroundings. Has it in front of the 370 mark. Robertson was at second base and returns 2 down. Here's Adeiny Echeverria. And with a walk, 0 for 3 last night. His hitting streak ended, but he still hit safely 9 of his last 10. 94 to get ahead. Max has dominated him. 7 strikeouts with an RBI, that 2 for 19. Longtime Marlin. There's a long hold. Max grunts and the fastball's outside. Out to left. A step back and then Soto cruising in for it. And we're going to the top of the third. Michael A. Taylor will be leading off, and he's hot. Experience the power and toughness of Ram at your local dealer or log on to ramtrucks.com to get to work. Guts, glory, Ram. Michael A. last 18 games hitting .396.
Severino. And usually when he's dialed, he just goes right down into the tunnel, doesn't even hang around. Derek Lilliquist, his pitching coach, they were talking it over, trying to figure it out, making adjustments. So we'll see how that translates next inning for Max.
There's Michael A. Taylor, top of the third. Evaldi's 30th pitch of the day is high. Michael A. 1 for 5 against him. Batting average up at .245. He had an 0 for 4 last night. Hit the ball well first time up, lined out to right. Look at those numbers for June. At the end of May, Michael A. Taylor was hitting .203. That's how far he's come in 4 weeks' time.
Well, now the challenge is to stay in your zone. When he was struggling early, he was swinging at everything. And then when you lock in, Carp, it's because you're staying in the strike zone. You're sticking to your game plan. But then the tendency is to, wow, I'm hitting so well, I can go out of the strike zone now and hit those pitches, and that's how you get back to where you were before. So you have to even stay more disciplined when you're locked in to stay locked in. Because when you're locked, you can go out of the zone and get a few hits.
Taylor the other way, and it's right to Daniel Robertson. 7 straight to start the game.
All right, 2 biggest events of the summer in baseball are back-to-back. The action begins with the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 16th, 8 p.m. at Nats Park, of course. Then catch baseball's biggest stars. 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th on Fox. Coverage begins 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Gonna be fun in our own backyard. All the fun stuff begins soon.
Wilmer Defoe hitting .267 left-handed, .247 overall. That one got Matt Duffy on the move in from third.
I like the bunt to second base on turf, because a lot of times on grass it's hard to get it through the grass past the pitcher. But on turf, it's all you have to do is square around, get the ball down. The speed will take care of itself because of the AstroTurf, and you get a base hit. It's a lot easier, I always thought.
Wilmer Defoe on June 5th, when Evaldi pitched against Max last time, had a fielder's choice ground ball in the second. RBI triple, scored a run in the fourth, and that was the extent of the Nats runs that day. They had 4 by the 4th inning, held on to win it 4-2. And the 2-1 just away. Nathan Evaldi is 39-49 career. ERA 4.24, 133rd start today, and his 11th against the Nationals. Swing and a miss. He throws the 97 by Defoe. First 8 batters retired, 4 of them swinging strikeouts.
Well, you talk about what the Nats are going through right now, Carp. In, you know, losing 4 of their last 10. 5, they lost 10 out of 14, excuse me. 5 shutouts in there. I mean, it's go time for this ball club. The Braves are for real. The Phillies are for real. And to have the attitude that, you know, it's okay, it's early, I think is dangerous right now. Not that they have that, but when you talk to people, everyone's attitude is they'll be fine. But the fact is, those other 2 teams aren't going anywhere. And when you're this deep into the season, it's starting to become the storyline that, you know, you have a lot of injuries. You're in 3rd place right now. You're 4 games back, but 4 games back approaching July is legit. So if you're going to do what you set out to do this year, it's time right now. However you do it, doesn't matter who's here, doesn't matter who's not here. You got to find a way to get going right now.
Anibal Sanchez and the Braves tonight hosting Matt Harvey and the Reds. Phillies have a Severino Arrieta matchup with the Yankees in town. All of the other games are tonight. This is the only game in progress in Major League Baseball until 7:05 tonight. So it's 1-2 to Severino, and he takes that one cutting away.
I mean, it's not time to panic, but there has to be a certain sense of urgency that, hey, it's time to giddy up a little bit. And if you don't have that sense, it's dangerous. Bottom line.
2-2. The next time the Nats see the Braves will be a 3-game series at home right out of the All-Star break. Phillies, of course, for this weekend starting Thursday. And 86 unhittable upstairs on the off speed. 5 Ks for Evaldi, and the Nats are hitless through 3 again. so far. Mark Reynolds walks by and says, hey, get me in there. So the Nats have lost 10 of their last 14, hitting under 250. 3 runs a game. They've only hit 6 homers. The Nats are down to 8th in the league in home runs. High ERA, as mentioned, the starters 0 for 9. 0 and 9 since Strasburg went on the DL. And, of course, the 5 shutouts. In the month of June, because they were shut out on the first day of the month, the Nats have been shut out 6 times. Make today the day, PNC Bank. Inside some rough numbers. We go bottom 3. Kiermaier against Scherzer. First pitch ambush single to start the game, and he gets a changeup away to start the 3rd.
But you can sit there and say it's because this guy's dinged up, that guy's not healthy, he's coming back from this guy's, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares, right? You got to find the way to get it done at the highest level, and nobody cares if you're banged up, and most people are glad you are.
Yeah, when you're the favorite to win it, they not only don't care about your adversity, the rest of the league is pretty happy the Nats are experiencing that. Got to fight your way out. Max at 40 pitches here. And that's a great job of the changeup. Really pulling the string on Kiermaier. Had to stretch to hit the can of corn to Michael A. Taylor. Dan has more on Gio, and that was a very unusual outing for him last night. Dan, we're not used to that from him.
We certainly aren't, Bob. The important thing here is Gio said after last night's game that he's fine physically. But Davey, talking about his left-handed starter, said earlier in the season he was more under control. He wasn't thinking as much. He was attacking the zone more. He said his last couple outings, that's gone by the wayside. Davey's saying he just has to throw strikes more and can't let things kind of mentally spiral on him the way that they did last night.
And it looked like there was a whole lot more than just command going on. And hanging out with his skipper. There's always the next day. But it's got to be one of the most frustrating things in baseball to wait 4 days for your start. It's a nightmare, and then you got 4 more days before you get out there again. 2 hopper, Trey Turner. 2 down here in the 3rd. Max looking for his first 1, 2, 3. He'll have to get Jake Bauers to do it.
They just never seemed to be in sync with his catcher last night. There was all kinds of conversations on the mound, switching up signs, conversations in the dugout. Just like I said, you start enough games, play long enough, you're going to have nights like that.
RBI ground ball by Jake Bauers first time. Beat out an attempted 4-6-3 double play. And the fastball away. He's on a 3-game streak, but he's 7 for 15. Good curveball. 1-1. Trey Turner just took a stroll to the right side of the infield, crossing behind the bag to the other side. That's when the count went 1-1.
With the frustration, he's fighting it right now. Max Scherzer fighting it is what 90% of pitchers wish they had on their best day, though.
And he misses with the off speed, walking his second man. The in order inning elusive for Max today. We're at the Dome in downtown St. Pete, Tropicana Field. Dan downstairs, Bob and FP up here trying to urge the Nats through to a win to get a split in this series, and then a day off tomorrow. Everybody can rest up and then rev up for 4 at the home of the Fightin' Phils. We will be at the bank Thursday night for the first time this year at the end of June. Wilson Ramos fouls one, popped up to Murphy. First time up.
A lot of rumors about Wilson Ramos being dealt from the Rays. A lot of talk about him coming back to DC, but that's a lot easier said than done, Carp. When people know you have a need, they ask for the house in return.
Oh yeah, price is going to be very high.
When they know you're desperate at a certain position or you want a certain position, that's when the asking price is the highest. So those trades are the hardest, you'd think.
Runner on the move, pitch inside. Severino's throw behind Defoe, popping up Bowers, but with Taylor charging, and everybody knows about Michael A. Taylor's arm, he chose to stay at second base.
I think Pedro Severino hurt his hand on that foul ball that he missed when he slapped the dugout over there, because he's shaking it out after the throw, and you usually don't see him miss like this. There wasn't a whole lot on it and had a lot of sink to it, and afterwards he was shaking his hand back and forth once the throw went in to center field.
Count goes to 2-1. Ramos, hot shot, Turner there. Plenty of time to make that throw. And bottom line is Max has put 2 zeros on the board after that rough first inning. Top of the order, 1-0 Rays. Brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Tough duty for the crew here. Little stroll over on the beach. World Cup soccer time.
What's that float in the water?
Waves rolling in. By the way, hats off to our crew. They had a short night Sunday. Our traveling Masson crew. They were here early yesterday, probably at the ballpark by noon, and they were back here early hours this morning, so that our job is easy, so you can have everything you need from the sights, sounds, graphics, info from Nationals baseball, and a tip of the cap to them.
Yeah, usually it's self-inflicted, but they had no control over it this time.
A ringing endorsement. They thank you very much. Pop up Eaton, first time to short, pulls that one foul. And it's 1-1, top of the fourth underway. They spend far more time at the ballpark than we do. Fastball up and away, and at 97, not gettable. 1-2. Evaldi, first 3 innings, 46 pitches, 31 strikes, 9 in a row. Oh, cutting action on that 92, and Adam Eaton wears one and heads to first base.
The first base runner of the day for the Nats came the hard way. Looked like a firm cutter off the elbow guard. Let's see if Bryce Harper can lock in right here.
Eaton hit by a pitch for the 3rd time this year.
Verizon Expo going to show you the hit by pitch. Looked like a slider, a cutter from Eovaldi, 92 miles an hour, and Eaton just kind of letting it go right off that arm guard. Still doesn't feel good. Right now, the Nats will take anything.
100% fiber optic network means more speed. For more devices at once, ball one to Bryce. Visit getfios.com. First time up, Eovaldi got ahead of Bryce 0-2 and got him on a pitch sinking down and away. A little off-speed action back then.
Heads up, Tim Bogar. That's why they wear helmets. They're talking about Eovaldi's times to home. We haven't seen Adam Eaton try to steal yet. I don't think he's there. But if Eovaldi's a 1-6 or 1-7 and he's super deliberate, Eaton will take off. But it has to be a time where he's going to make it, especially with Bryson.
Yeah, first batter today he pitches to off the stretch. 1-2 now. Counts even.
Got him with the split first time up. Maybe that was a show me fastball leaning back to get to that split to the other side. We'll see what they decide on. I think they're going with it.
Ramos sets the proper target for that pitch. And he had to block it. Three-two, Eaton running.
I like it. Davey Martinez trying to get something kick-started here in the 4th.
So you saw Soto. He's in the hole. Rendon on deck here. Three-two. Eaton holding this time. And Bryce Harper will take the walk. 2 on, nobody out. Bryce walks for the 59th time.
Good at bat. Stayed in the zone.
He's now number 2, by the way, in walks. Joey Votto 60. So who would you want at the plate when you're trying to battle your way onto the scoreboard here? There's your man. Based on recent success, after spoiling some 2-strike pitches, Rendon ground ball to 3rd. Soto struck out to start off the 2nd. So now the Nationals, still early in the game, looking for the key hit. But it's popped up into short right. Malik Smith will get some momentum going for this catch. Eaton starts, stops, and he almost airmailed one that was a tough catch for Matt Duffy at 3rd. 1 out.
All right, celebrate America's birthday with a full week of the national pastime in the nation's capital. Join us at the ballpark. Red Sox in town 2nd through the 4th. Marlins after that. Visit nationals.com for some tickets. Bob Henley will be there. Lots of sunscreen on. Waving runners home, he hopes.
Yeah, dying to wave somebody around 3rd here. Two runners made it to 3rd last night. So here's Soto in a big spot. 16 RBIs in his first 32 big league games.
If he pulls one down the right field line, he might score.
I mean, Malik Smith is playing in the gap. Time given to someone.
Well, Juan Soto's holding his hand up. He's getting in the box, and he's looked up a few times. And Nathan Eovaldi, who's working fast today, is ready to pitch. You remember last year when Odubel Herrera did that to Max Scherzer? He threw the pitch and he was looking down. It was strike 3, fastball right down the middle.
Uh-oh. Eaton started and stopped. Harper kept running. And now Adam Eaton is trapped between second and third. So Bryce is standing on second. And the Nats give away an out in 90 feet right there. Run down by the catcher, Wilson Ramos.
Well, Eaton was shuffling off. He got a break. Bryce Harper was looking, then Bryce stopped looking. He thought Eaton was going. He put his head down, but the play's right in front of you. Watch. He just put his head down. He's trying to make it. Looked back at the catcher, Wilson Ramos, and saw that Eaton wasn't there. You know, it's okay on the back end to try to get the same jump as the guy on the front end gets, but you got to keep your eye on the runner just in case he does what Adam Eaton did. Eaton didn't feel like he had his best jump. He choked it off, and Bryce wasn't looking.
2 unassisted. Something you don't see ever at second base or beyond. And now 2 outs for Soto. The count went to 2-1. I think Juan's checking with the umpire just to make sure the count is correct.
Adam Eaton did the smart thing by just giving up there with his knee. He doesn't need to be getting in a rundown going back and forth off that thing.
2-1 to Soto, and that ball fouled to even the count. Nowhere to go. Payoff pitch, Murphy on deck. Way inside. Juan Soto will draw his 21st walk. 2 on, 2 out. Second walk of the inning.
He's talking about he had a decent jump. He hopped a couple of times, then took off. He just wasn't feeling it. And when you have the green light, if you feel like you're going to make it out at third, it's up to you to stop. I think he did the right thing. It's got weird when Bryce looked back at Wilson Ramos and didn't realize that he hit the brakes.
Daniel Murphy pop up to the third baseman first time up.
And as the trail runner, Carp, on a double steal, it's all I have to do is look at second to see if someone's covering, if they're going to throw the back door to try to get me. I really don't have to look back at the catcher. And just a quick glance to see if there was a swing, but on double steal, usually the hitter's going to take for you. Never know, though.
Wilson Ramos picks cleanly the off-speed pitch. Ball 2. So Eovaldi struggling with command in this inning.
It seems like the key's getting him in the stretch, right?
It appears. Didn't have to for 3 innings, and after hitting Eaton, has spent this entire frame off the stretch. He's truly retired only 1 hitter, and that was Rendon on the fly ball to right. Target away. Murphy up the middle, But that's where they were playing him, and Echeverria throws him out. He had to go to his left, not that far for a hard hit ball. Nats frustrated, stranding their first 2.
What happened on the double steal? And he's telling me, hey, I thought he was going. I put my head down and went. And as a trail runner, it's your responsibility to get the jump with the guy in front of you, because a lot of times they'll come out, put on a sign. But when you're having trouble getting traffic out there, and you're having trouble getting base runners, mistakes like this are super magnified, right? If you're scoring 8 or 9 runs a game and you're getting 15 hits, you know, you kind of giggle these things off in the dugout. But when you're having trouble getting runners across the plate or even getting runners on, now something like that becomes a lot bigger than normal.
Bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Tampa Bay. Joey Wendell, the hitter. Max Scherzer just got ahead with his 30th strike on pitch number 53. Challenge heater overpowers him into a pop-up left side. Anthony Rendon, plenty of room for the first out. Crone and Robertson, the next 2 for the Rays. Well, the first 2 batters sit safely today. Max hasn't given up a knock since then. Struck out C.J. Crone, first time up, leading off the 2nd. His only strikeout of the day, by the way. Couple of good heaters. 0-2. And the changeup didn't miss hitting him by much.
He wasn't moving. 0-2 against Max Scherzer. You throw something soft next to me, nobody's moving. Good pitch.
Yeah, he was ready to take his walk behind the mound. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast. Could have gone either way. Up the middle, that's Defoe crossing over to the left side. Playing up the middle, 2 down. Look ahead to the Nats' upcoming schedule, and it starts with 4 in Philly. It's brought to you by Sandy Spring Bank, where they help people and businesses reach their goals every day. Sandy Spring Bank, from here for 150 years. And the Red Sox will be in Monday, 3 with Boston next week. That ball crushed by Robertson. Way up the seats, foul.
First pitch slider, he was in ambush mode.
And the fastball looks quicker than 94.
Usually you go with the slider off the fastball away. We'll see. He's locked in the fastball command this inning for sure.
Beautiful pitch, hitting the target of Severino. Max Scherzer first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Turner Taylor Defoe coming up. 1-0 home team.
Because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Top 5, Tropicana Field. 1-2-0 Rays. That's a hit batter, couple of walks, stranded 2 last inning. 69th pitch of the day from Nathan Eovaldi. Got Trey Turner to chase first time, but Trey taking that one to get ahead. And again.
Two off speeds missed. He got to be sitting on a fastball here.
Yeah, he got one. A little late. Chopper. That ball bounces another time. It's going to be close. Coming to get it, Matt Duffy. No better time to act than today, PNC. Make today the day with our minor league insights. Nick Rickey, 22 years old, and pitching for High A Potomac from the College of William and Mary just last year. 3rd round pick, so he's in his 2nd professional season. ERA's good, and he's gone the distance in 12 starts. Don't hear much about that from minor leaguers. 2 complete games.
Cannonball coming.
Eovaldi's got some zip and some heat on that fastball today. Michael A, after getting ahead, bouncing out to the other side. To Robertson, first time up.
Tell you what,
98.
He's in a rhythm. He's working quick. Guy that struggled in June. A lot of confidence. Usually when you see a pitcher working this fast, he's not thinking about anything. Maybe that's why he's working fast.
Wow. Wilmer Defoe coming up now with 2 outs. Dan has more.
Bob, the bat that Wilmer Defoe has in his hands right now is actually Bryce Harper's bat. A few days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, he picked it up in the Nationals clubhouse, got the feel of it, said he liked it, so Bryce said, take it. And in the last 5 games, Wilmer's hitting .333. So he's told Bryce, you have any bats you don't want, bring them to me. He feels like companies are going to send Bryce their best bats, and he wants them.
Good thinking.
Yeah, a little choked up. You've said that before, that some guys' bats are a little better than others.
I used Pedro Martinez's bats most of my career. I figured.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me Vladimir Guerrero or Larry Walker.
No, I would sell their bats, and that's what Wilmer should do. Hey, can you sign this first before I use it in the game and then just hawk it on eBay?
Oh, boy. 1 and 2. You use Pedro's bats?
Yeah, I figured he wasn't using them, and they had to have some hits in them. So 1 year they worked for me.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, he stood up. Wilmer straight up with that heater, and it still had some run on it. Didn't miss by much. Nissan pitch cast. Elevated. 2-2. This does not look like a pitcher who had a .591 ERA career interleague with an opponent's batting average of .310. % off for all Hilton Honors members. Visit travel.hilton.com/DC. They got some great packages for Washington fun this summer. Check them out. Nats fans have had no runs through 14 innings and a grand total of 2 hits to cheer for here. Hats off to them for showing out in force, but not able to get up for much of anything. So no swing on the curveball to Malik Smith in the bottom of the 5th is underway. Max doing whatever he can to keep this thing close. Fastball away. Evaldi is at 81 pitches through 5. Last night Blake Snell was at 73 through 5 no-hit innings. Smith, Echeverria, and then the top of the order, Kiermaier. Bottom 5 for the Rays.
Yeah, 2 of Max's 3 losses were 2-0.
Yeah, with any run support, we're looking at a guy who could be 12-1, maybe 11-2.
19 strikeouts and 4 walks combined in those 2 games. So he's grinded today, keeping it 1-0. Hopefully his offense is going to find a way to pick it up here.
Chopper right side, and it's right to Daniel Murphy. Looking at Max's log for the year, he's won 3 games this year when the Nats got him double-digit runs, and then another time at Miami when they got him 9. All the other games have been pretty close. He hasn't exactly had a ton of run support all year long, and he's still 10-3. So he got Echeverria, fly ball to left first time up, and trying to complete his second time through the order now. Pop up right side. Just into fairground, Severino, 2 down. Potomac Nationals set to host the biggest fireworks spectacular in Northern Virginia on the 4th of July. So the countdown is down to a week as the Peanuts face off with the Salem Ball Club. 6:35 that night, fireworks after the game. So that's the big one in Northern Virginia, separated by the Potomac from the big one in D.C.
They're fired up. You want to see some fireworks. They're going crazy.
On the appeal, strike 1, says Chad Fairchild on Kevin Kiermaier. Base hit, first pitch of the game by Max, scored 1 out later after a Duffy single on a grounder by Jake Bowers, and that's the extent of the Tampa Bay offense.
The numbers all the way through.
So as Max gets through the order for the second time, he's retired 13 of the last 15 Tampa Bay hitters. And no contact during that time. And a 1-2 target, down and away. Looked like a good take. And a good check. Started, stopped. 3-2. How about that time? No swing again. Max Scherzer, 3rd walk of the day. That'll bring up Matt Duffy, who has one of the 2 Rays hits.
Has Max ever had a start where he's had more walks and strikeouts in his career?
Wow. Question of the day.
I mean, it won't end up there, but right now it's a case. You got to keep Kiermaier close at first.
He's 2 for 2, only playing in his 19th game. Kiermaier, since coming back from, well, his latest in a host of injuries. Coming off right thumb surgery. Last year fractured his hip, missed 61 games. Year before that fractured his hand. So the Rays know about his potential. Just haven't been able to keep him on the field. Now they have Matt Duffy, who's in his 2nd year here. He was out most of the season recovering from left Achilles surgery last year. And the 0-1, he takes it. Another appeal. 1 ball, 1 strike. Time given again late after a Scherzer hold.
Well, it's tough to run on Max Scherzer because he varies his looks, he varies his tempo with that long hold. Doesn't look like Kiermaier's real interested. Got his hands on his knees, pretty short lead, but maybe that's a deke. We'll see. Somebody asked me the other day, what's a deke? Short for decoy, just in case you don't know. Sometimes I talk baseball lingo and I forget.
Yeah, we fall all into that. 2 outs here in the 5th. Max chunking.
What's chunking, Bob?
Pitching.
Oh, all right.
I think you heard it from somebody. I heard years ago from Jim Cott. He said he showed up at the ballpark one day and somebody said, "You chunking today?" And he said, "I hope not." Well, he was. He was pitching. He didn't know. Runner goes on a 3-1. Strike 2, and Kiermaier into second with a steal that gets him in a scoring position with 2 outs.
So maybe he was decoying. Short lead, took off, no throw from Pedro Severino. Changes the whole complexion of this inning.
Boy, does it. They're playing Duffy pretty deep. Especially Soto. And a fly ball, right field line, Murphy over. Telling Defoe he's got it, so Max continues to battle, and battle well, keeping it 1-0 after 5 on a beautiful day near the Sunshine Skyway. Well, pitching rules the day.
Geico, 15 minutes could save you 50% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Good idea right there by Pedro Severino. If that's fair, it's a knock. And there's a little game summary for you. Not a lot of offense going on in this one. Both pitchers have been on point. Nathan Eovaldi has not given up a hit yet.
Facing his 18th batter. He's retired. 14 so far. Got an out on the bases. Severino, strikeout victim, number 5, ending the 3rd. Front door slider. So All that you're looking at in terms of getting on base happened in the fourth. Eaton led off, hit by a pitch. Then Harper walked after a Rendon fly out with Soto batting. Adam got tagged out between second and third. When he started stop, Bryce kept going. The Nats gave up a runner. Then Soto walked, and that's it. Nasty 88 diving, strikeout number 8. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
That split again. It's been his out pitch with 2 all day long. Really getting on top of it. It's moving down and in hard late to right-handers, down in away hard late to lefties. And third time through has been a problem. And here we go. Adam Eaton's third plate appearance here today.
He's 0 for 1. On base once, just like Harper behind him. And the big curveball drops in.
There's always a challenge when you come off knee surgery, Carp, when it's your back knee, of staying on that back knee. So for Adam Eaton right now, all the work has been done on that left leg. And so what do I mean by that? Well, you have a tendency to kind of drift toward the pitcher, because when your leg's fully healthy, that back leg, you kind of sit on it a little bit, right? Get away from the pitch, get that momentum going from backwards to forwards. But when that's your bad knee, now you have a tendency to fall off it and drift, because that leg isn't as strong as it used to be. So when it's full strength, you know, we showed that picture of Bryce Harper, he really gets back on it, 100% back, the leg kick. Now for Adam Eaton, who's been a leg kick guy at times throughout his career, he can't really get on that backside, and now you have a tendency to fall toward the pitcher. Your head's moving a little bit. See if we can see it right here a little bit. They're trying to dig in, stay on that. But if that thing's barking, Carp, and I've been there, I've had knee surgeries, you come off it, you don't stay on your backside as long as you'd like to.
Yeah, it's kind of the old Charlie Lau theory of hitting, right? Stay behind, wait, transfer, but as late as you can, right?
Yeah, but I just did that for you in the booth, and that hurt. So I know what that feels like still to this day.
Medic, trainer.
Yeah, I always demonstrate for Bob while I'm talking.
Yeah. Charlie Lau espoused that art of hitting, and his #1 disciple and student was George Brett, and that worked out okay. One ball and 2 strikes to Adam. Fastball up, and he's battled his way back even here. One of the longest at bats by any Nat today. Anthony Rendon fouled off a bunch of pitches in the first with 2 outs, nobody on, to get Eovaldi to 15. Now it's 3-2. He's going to ring him up on a pitch up in the zone. Eaton doesn't say a word. Walks away. Cutter up. 9th strikeout.
I started it outer third, ran it right back down the middle. Good pitch.
So here's Bryce. Swinging strikeout first inning, walk in the 4th.
Played New York, New York his last at-bat, the actual song by Frank Sinatra. Now they just played Chicago.
Well, if they play the national anthem next time, that means he's staying.
That's not.
Everybody having all kind of fun with that this year.
This is not. This is the big leagues. That's not big leagues. Sorry. Do that kind of stuff in the minor leagues when guys come up, not in the big leagues.
Agreed. They've got Eovaldi up to 95 on the pitch count.
Guys with the hardest fastballs in the big leagues this season. There you go.
Harper drives one to left. It's moving away from Wendell, and it's off the very top of the wall. Bounces a long way, but it's back toward the infield. And Bryce Harper missing a homer barely the other way.
Now his last 7 hits have been doubles. And if that's a foot to the left, it's a tied ball game. 13th double of the year for Bryce Harper. Watch where this hits. He stays on it nice. Kind of came out of his swing on the 98. Look at him stay in it here, drive it the other way. He thought he had a home run. Watch, if this is a couple of inches to the left, it's a tie game. So there goes the no-hitter. A double for Bryce Harper here in the 6th, and we got a trip to the mound. And he's saying right now, that's the way things are going. If that's an inch to the left, 2 inches to the left, I got myself my 20th home run of the year.
Kyle Snyder, pitching coach, to the mound. Yeah, a little quirk in the wall out there.
Yeah, I mean, it hit probably right here. And if it's a little bit to the left, that's a tater.
Bryce's last homer, June 9th against the Giants. Jose Alvarado, one of their 3 lefties, warming. So they've broken the ceiling on the hit. Now they need to get on the board. And Anthony Rendon, ground ball, fly ball, career 8 for 26 against Eovaldi, with 1 run batted in.
Showed that shot of Bob Henley out at second base talking to Bryce Harper. I am 100% sure he told you I am sending you on a base hit. Don't even think about it.
Rendon rips it, but it's right at Matt Duffy. Nats are done in the 6th. Harper gets the first hit. Still 1-0 Tampa Bay.
run of the year. But you don't want to miss this. Friday, July 6th, be one of the first 25,000 fans at the Yard and receive a Bryce Harper patriotic bobblehead that's presented by SAIC. Don't miss the hottest giveaway of the summer. Visit nationals.com for tickets today. I'm sure it's a good one. I haven't seen it. Bryce waving a flag, maybe?
One pitch, bottom of the 6th. Defoe throws out Jake Bauers. 83rd pitch by Max, so he could be around for a while here. He's now retired 14 of the last 17 Rays. And their box score, not a whole lot to show. Base hits Kiermaier, Duffy to start the game. Duffy sent Kiermaier to third with his hit to right. And then Jake Bauers hit a potential double play ball. Nats tried to turn it, but Bauers scored on the fielder's choice. This ball by Ramos, deep right center. Taylor jumping, and he's got it. Michael A's been up against the wall 3 times in this series.
Well, I talked about it last night. You have a light roof here in a day game, so you can't take your eyes off the baseball if you're tracking it in your Michael A. Taylor. On top of that, the warning track isn't dirt here. It's just painted turf. So you can't feel the track under your feet as you normally do when there's natural grass. So he knew where he was. He jumped to soften the blow. Nice play by Michael A. Taylor. Wilson Ramos just kind of stood at home plate. There's the view that Michael had on that ball.
There's Joey Wendell. And by the way, we were handed something several innings ago. Wilson Ramos, by 159,000 votes, leads Gary Sanchez of the Yankees in the American League All-Star voting.
Well, he should be leading Gary Sanchez. He's hitting under 200.
And he's way ahead, even further ahead of Brian McCann of the Astros, Salvi Perez of the Royals, and Yan Gomes of the Indians. I mean, it's no contest right now in the voting.
Give the fans credit.
Yeah. As we all know, it doesn't always work out that way.
By the way, I'm on eBay right now looking at Bryce's patriotic bobblehead. It's cool. Got the blue jersey on.
How does it get on there before it's given away?
No signs of Wilmer Defoe and Bryce Harper bats on there, though. So he's using them.
Swing and a miss. Max Scherzer, 3rd K of the day to go with 3 walks. He works through 6. These guys need to get him some runs. He is dealing.
To Nats Park. Enjoy this double feature. Zach Brown Band Night at Nats Park on Sunday, July 8th. That's a 1:35 start against the Marlins at home. So after the game, or during the game, you'll celebrate the band. But while they're out of town, there'll be a concert on July 22nd. Get both tickets, plus a limited edition commemorative pennant for just $99. Visit nationals.com for details.
Here at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. We're going to the top of the 7th in a 1-0 game. Choose a winning team for your vehicle. Jiffy Lube for value and convenience. JiffyLubeDC.com. And it's 24-year-old Diego Castillo. And I'm looking at this as his big league debut. No. Sorry, early in the season he was here. And then he went down to Durham. Now he's back. So this is his 9th big league contest.
Yeah, fastball between 94 and 100. He's thrown 2 heaters at 100 this year. Slider to go with it, 87 and 91.
And that one fouled by Juan Soto. 100 pitches, 64 strikes for Nathan Eovaldi in 6 outstanding innings. But the pitch count got him. Struck out 9, walked 2. Right side, and that's Robertson.
We talk about it all the time. Just look at Johnny right field into the game. And that is Malik's left field Smith. He moves over to left. Checking out his playbook on where to play Daniel Murphy. But we talk about it all the time, Carp. Sometimes it doesn't matter who you bring into the game out of the bullpen. It's just somebody else besides the guy that was dealing. We'll see if Nats can figure out Castillo here.
Daniel Murphy. Well, maybe it's a good sign. As soon as Johnny Field came in last night in left field, Rendon hit it over his head. Left-handed batter. He's in right field today.
Yeah, Murph's knee's the front knee, Carp. So a lot of times when it's your front knee, you know, that's what you hit against. So you want to stick that one in the dirt and rotate off that. So that's the dilemma he faces until that gets 110% or whatever you want to call it. He's getting more on his legs every day, though.
Fastball inside edge. Nissan pitch cast.
The deeper Murph squats, the better hitter he is. Because he really hits with his lower half. The upper half's just coming along for the ride.
Second sharply hit ball of the day. This time Robertson gets him 2 down. Last time it was up the middle and Echeverria got to it. Trey Turner 0 for 1 against Castillo. Trey a strikeout in the ground ball today, and that one 97 running back. Strike 1.
This guy Dave Martinez would love to have on here with 2 outs, right? 1-run game, get on, run around a little bit.
Yeah, frustrated Harper. All of us inches from tying the game last inning. And a good take by Trey Turner.
Big pitch coming for both sides.
Trey Turner takes the third consecutive slider he saw. He's aboard with 2 outs, and here we go. 2 of the fastest guys in baseball at first and in the batter's box.
Well, according to my scouting reports, you can steal on Castillo. He's between 1.4 and 1.5 to the plate. 1.6 is his longest, and that's way too much for Trey Turner. We'll see if he goes early or late in the count, but you figure in a 1-run game in the 7th, he's going.
Sooner the better, right?
He didn't really give him a chance to there. Did he stop?
Trey 21 out of 23. Right at Matt Duffy, and the Nats are done in the 7th. Stranding their 4th runner today and still with just 1 hit. To the bottom of the 7th, pitch number 89 for Max Scherzer. Hot foul just outside the bag. C.J. Cron. Strikeout, ground ball, 0 for 2. Well, in situations like this, the good thing about the American League game, you don't have to hit for the pitcher if he's pitching well, but you're behind. He would be due up 2nd in the 8th. Max can keep battling as long as Davey thinks he's effective, and that's a fastball away, 2-1.
Well, the bad thing about it, though, Max Scherzer would probably be 2 for 3 with a run scored right now and drive in 1-2.
Not your ordinary hitting pitcher. Point well taken. Jammed him, and Defoe couldn't quite get to it. C.J. Cron strong enough to drop it into the outfield, and the Rays have their first hit since the 2nd batter in the 1st inning.
A good swing by Cron. First of all, got his hands inside of it. Wilmer kind of watched it for a second, then went after it. Good effort by Defoe. Good swing by Cron.
Daniel Robertson is next. He's walked and struck out. one's cleanly up the middle. Cron will stop at second. Back-to-back hits in the first, back-to-back hits 6 innings later. Next up, Malik Smith.
2 good pitches, no luck.
And this is a guy who can bunt, he can really run.
I mean, you have to bunt here if you're the Rays. I know the analytics say don't bunt anymore, but you're facing Max Scherzer, you're up 1-0, it's the bottom of the 7th, you're trying to add on. I'd be shocked if he doesn't.
Kevin Cash has had him bunting for 4 sacrifices this year. Danny Echeverria on deck, number 8 spot in the order right now, and Rendon ready to charge with Murphy. That ball bounces and Severino knocked it down.
Almost hit Smith, right? And his foot almost hit the plate. If you step on home plate and bunt, you're out. The bunt's got to be to third to Rendon hard. Cron doesn't fly at second base, so if you're placing this one, it's got to be right down the third baseline or away from Max and make the third baseman field it, you'd think.
Lays it down, and that's a beauty. There's only one play, and they have to be quick to get the 1-4. Smith moves up, Cron to third, and Robertson to second.
Nice bunt. Now you're pitching for the strikeout. Your 4th strikeout of the day if you're Max Scherzer.
Echeverria, fly ball to left, pop up to the catcher today. And against Max, 2 for 21 career. Scherzer about to throw pitch number 96.
I think with Cron on third, you don't have to play real shallow with this infield if you're the Nats defense. It's real fast and you don't have speed on third. You know, based on your arm strength, you can get yourself a little range here. Murph is 2 steps in on the grass. Defoe's on the grass. This is a lightning quick infield. They're not going contact. Like Cron's barely off third. You know, those are things you look at as an infielder, Carp. You try to see the third base coach if they're going contact play.
Right.
If you're at third, you listen to the conversation. But just because your manager brings you in the infield, you have to take into account the speed of the infield, your arm strength, the speed of the runner at third, and his lead. Right now, Cron is showing everybody they're not going contact play. He's literally 2 steps off of third. So if I'm seeing that as an infielder, I breathe a little bit and take 2 or 3 steps back, knowing that it doesn't look like a contact play.
0-2 pitch. Echeverria not biting. It blocks Severino.
Now, on the other hand, if I see a speedy runner at third and he's getting an aggressive secondary lead, now I'm coming on the grass and the turf even more to cut down that run at home.
Brandon Kinsler's been active for a couple of days off the DL, hasn't pitched yet. Max trying to make it through at least 7 innings for the 9th time this year. He has struck out Echeverria career 7 times. Make it 8. 2 down.
Huge. You know, not having his most productive strikeout day, but he needs one, he gets one. Second and third, 1 out, 1-0 game. You see the reaction from Max Scherzer on the slider to Echeverria. Big time pitch by a big time pitcher. I mean, that's like stealing a base in a tie game in the bottom of the 9th when everyone knows you're going, you still steal it. Everyone knew Max Scherzer needed a strikeout right there, and he got it. They're asking him who he wants right now. Does he want Kiermaier or Duffy? The right-hander on deck, who do you want? Who do you feel more comfortable with? Yeah, that's up to Max. He's got the resume that says, I'm going to face who I want to say. And he's good enough to make 0-2 pitches and get a guy to chase if he wants to. So
Kiermaier 1 for 2 with a base hit, fly ball to center, a walk today. To 100 with 2 outs here in the 7th.
he's swinging here.
Lays off the change.
Do you fight back into the count here, or do you go ahead and put him on? Dave Martinez looking out there, trying to decide. Trusting his big right-hander.
Got the call on the edge, 2-1. And he brings the hook around to get back even.
Well, I see what he's doing. He's painting. And if you want to hit my pitch, you can hit my pitch. Now maybe you go for the kill if you're Max, because you got strike 2. But if he misses with the 2-0 pitch, they're probably just putting him on. He got back into the count now, and now he has count leverage in this 2-2 count. What does he throw? He likes the back knee slider lefties a lot with 2 strikes. See if they go in there.
Overpowers him with an off-speed pitch. He was late and Rendon catches it. What a great battle by Max Scherzer today. 7 tough innings. Now his teammates trying to get him off the hook.
Sit back and we become fans watching this guy pitch every 5th day, and you're just marveling at the double-digit Ks. What was more impressive than the strikeouts we're showing you today with Max Scherzer is how he fought and battled and how he figured it out along the way. Didn't have his great stuff in the beginning of the game, but got a huge strikeout when he needed it right there. Then went cutter in on Kiermaier at 89 right there to get a big out. So In a 1-0 ball game, he kept it 1-0 by just pitching today. I mean, just a beautiful job of pitching by Max Scherzer. Washington area Toyota dealers help their children and their families by making a donation of $44 to the Children's NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season. Now he would love a few runs.
Wilmer Defoe. Ground ball right side over to flag it down to Robertson. They'll play that guy anywhere. Left field, third base, and second base in this series. And the countdown is down to 5 outs remaining for the Nationals. Pedro Severino has been called back, and Brian Goodwin will hit for him in the 8th inning.
But you're watching a team that's pressing right now to score runs. You can see it, you can feel it. You know, you're down by 1, you're leading off the top of the 8th. A lot of times you'll see Wilmer go deep into a count right there, try to draw a walk. We've seen him take 3-1 in those situations before. And even back to last inning, you had Trey Turner on first base, Michael A. Taylor in a 1-0 count, not letting him get to second base in a 1-run game. So a lot of times when you're pressing as an offense, you do things that you normally don't do.
Brian Goodwin has faced Diego Castillo, struck him out in D.C. And a foul tip on 98. It's 0-2. Kelvin Herrera. Max has thrown 104 pitches, 63 strikes.
I didn't see handshakes, by the way, when Max went in the dugout. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back out there. We'll see. Even though Herrera's getting loose. They had a little discussion together. Max put his hat in his glove where he normally does, and he went underneath. Usually when he's done, he's out on the top step talking to his teammates about the outing, usually another pitcher.
Two. Target away and down, and Goodwin goes right with the pitch into the upper deck, staying alive at 0-2. All right, he's done.
There you go.
Swing and a miss, 2 down. Enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access, manage your tickets, enjoy check-in offers, and exclusive content. Download the MLB Ballpark app.
Normally, a bunt with 2 outs is not a good play. Right here, getting on for Bryce Harper, it'd be a great play. And he's one of the better bunters in baseball.
Well, you want him batting in the 8th. Adam 0 for 2, hit by a pitch today.
triple digits. It's an easy 100 too, effortless from Castillo. Doesn't even look like he's throwing it. It looks almost like Blake Trinan. You remember how he used to throw it, and you think, oh, it's a changeup, and you look up and it was 99.
Yeah. Typical tough Adam Eaton at bat here.
Trying to work his way on.
Tough play. Duffy to his right on the backhand side. Out is the call by Roberto Ortiz. Nats on the phone. Pretty good pick by Bowers at the end. And is at the end of the top of the 8th. Chip Hale just set out. Nats still with 1 hit today. Tough luck Eaton. Is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Beautiful day out there, Tampa Bay. We're in downtown St. Pete. And the Nats to the bullpen. Choose a winning team for your vehicle. Jiffy Lube for value and convenience. JiffyLubeDC.com. Quite a while in the American League. Kelvin Herrera here. And he will face Matt Duffy, bottom of the 8th. First time they will match up.
A fastball slider change for Herrera. Fastball between 93 and 99. Usually sits around 97. Opponent's hitting 179 against his heater this year.
Now that is some pretty good jammage right there. Duffy to Murphy. Spencer Keyboom behind the plate now after Goodwin hit for Severino. In the top of the 9th, Harper, Rendon, Soto.
Trying to keep it a 1-0 game, give those guys a chance.
Bowers, first career matchup against Herrera.
Nobody warming up for the Rays right now. Castillo going to go 3.
Kevin Cash does some innovative things with his bullpen.
Liking what he's seeing, apparently.
coming off a weekend when they used their pen a lot against the Yankees.
Yeah, they had an extra inning game. I know Romo threw a couple innings in that one.
Castillo has thrown 28 pitches, 20 strikes. Fastball up, and that's Trey Turner on the right side. So Herrera, a couple of key outs here. Tanner Roark is trying to win his 4th game of the year. We're on to the city of brotherly love, especially when it comes to the Nats-Phillies rivalry. Phillies beat him, and he only went 4 1/3 with 6 earned runs Friday night. So Tanner wants some revenge, and there's Aaron Nola, who beat the Nats on Saturday, and he'll be looking for his 10th win of the year. Roark and Nola Thursday night in Philly. Wilson Ramos 0 for 3 career against Herrera. And Max Scherzer stopped him 3 times today. Pinned Taylor up against the right center field wall last time on a long fly ball. So we're seeing Wilson for the last time this year, or are we? His first date might be in DC for the Midsummer Classic. Look at that curveball. 2-1. Chaz Rowe on your left just now throwing. Jose Alvarado's been up a couple of times today. Fastball, busted bat, and a Wilson Ramos base hit. Buffalo strong, and Johnny Field will be next.
Did you see him in the post-game interview yesterday with his Buffalo hat on? It was like a water buffalo hat. You remember the Grand Poobah from the Flintstones? And then it had 2 horns on the side.
Yeah, I thought he was getting ready to join a Russian revolution. So
they're digging the Buffalo here. Why wouldn't they? He's in 300.
Field career 1 for 1 with a base hit against Herrera. First at bat today after taking over in right field, and a really good fastball.
Close.
1-1.
So one of the Rays starting pitchers in the local newspaper yesterday, I think it might have been Blake Snell, was saying Wilson Ramos deserves to be an all-star. And 3 times in the quote, he mentioned he runs well for a catcher. And that has to be some sort of inside joke, because
I know,
he doesn't. And I kept reading, he says, you know, he runs well for a catcher, and you know, he's got a lot of power, he's a great hitter, he does a great job calling a game, he frames well, and he really runs well for a catcher. Like, that's going to get him on the all-star team, first of all. Second of all, he doesn't. He does a lot of things well, and that's not one of them.
Well, Blake Snell's a really good pitcher, but I didn't know he was so funny. 3-2 runner going. Ball 4, 2 on, 2 out, and this is becoming a very crucial last out the Nats need to get in the 8th. The hitter, C.J. Crone, 1 for 3 against Herrera with a base hit. One of those a strikeout. Jammed him, and not in the air very long, and right by this end of the Rays dugout. That's a nasty breaking ball, unreachable. 0-2.
Strike for a while before it dropped. Nice slider. Kind of a slurvy slider. He throws it between 78 and 84.
Swing and a miss, and Herrera does get the Nats the 0 on the board, setting up the ninth for Harper, Rendon, and then Soto. Oh, for a run or two. Brought to you by Visit Annapolis. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. Center of your screen there is old Al Lang Field. Longtime spring training home of the Cardinals, Orioles, Mets were there. FP played there, Florida State League, and here comes Bryce. Top of the ninth.
Time for your Ford drive of the game. Here are your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs. Bryce just missing a tater. Would have been his 20th of the year. Settled for his 7th double in a row. That much from a tie ball game. We'll see if the Nats can build an inning here. This is a big time save opportunity here to see a Harper homer.
So Bryce facing Alvarado for the first time. That's Jose Alvarado, 23 years of age, 34th appearance, 36 Ks in 33 innings.
21 fastballs this year, triple digits for Alvarado. Go between 96 and 100. Curveball, slider to go with it.
Way up and in, and Bryce reacted like the ball hit him. And then maybe it redirected into Ramos, or did it hit Bryce's bat?
It had to. He's still standing there. If it hit him, he'd be on first.
They have ball one on the board, but we'll see.
Had to hit him in the knob of the bat, didn't it? Oh no, it got the barrel of the bat.
Ooh. So Ramos took that one, what appeared to be the inner thigh, on the severe redirect. And it is strike one. Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers, $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 homers hit by the Nats. Lexus, experience amazing. Here's the 0-1.
Tough to bunt 100 or 96.
And they're not shifting on Bryce as much as other teams with a lefty.
I think his manager's probably hoping for a tie game here.
Third baseman Duffy not that terribly deep, and as I mentioned, they're not in a shift here.
Yeah, but down by 1 in the 9th, you got 19 home runs. I'm sure his skipper is hoping that he runs into one here.
Three times in a row, ball 3. Low in the zone, 3-2. Way outside. Bryce Harper walks, leading off the 9th.
Leadoff man on, game on. Alvarado upset with himself. That wasn't close, and now he's going to see the right-hander for Anthony Rendon.
Yeah, he might have stayed to face Soto had he gotten Harper and then Rendon next, but now they go to the right-hander. So Chaz Rowe's been warming. Pitching change, nobody out in the 9th. Harper aboard, 1-0 game.
Alvarado is going to go over and play first base in a 1-0 game with Bryce Harper on first base in the top of the 9th inning. Look at this. Bryce Harper just faced this guy, and now he's going to play first base. I've seen this before, but the pitcher's always gone to the outfield and then rotated back in.
Now we have another outfielder running in toward the dugout. Looks like Johnny Fields, so we'll figure out all together what's going on here.
I mean, if you're Anthony Rendon, bunt it to first and watch him throw it in the 4th row. I don't know.
We're told that Joe Madden has done this sort of thing before.
But not, I mean, at first base?
No.
Put the pitcher at first. I mean, this whole thing they're doing is nothing shocking. Whatever. He wants Alvarado to face Soto, who's on deck. But to put it at a high leverage position in the infield like this, I've never seen it. Maybe it's happened, but I've never seen it.
So Bowers appears to be going to the outfield. Looks like Johnny Field is the guy we saw coming in toward the dugout, so he appears to be out of the game. Malik Smith right now is in right field, or rather left field. He shifted over to left, so we'll see if he goes back to right and they hide Bowers in left.
I mean, do you try to draw a throw right here if you're Bryce Harper? This game just got super weird.
Yeah, so Bowers goes to left, at least for a batter. And Malik Smith goes back to right field where he started today.
Also, you know they're probably not going to throw over if you're Bryce. A row fastball, slider, fastball between 91 and 95. Pretty quick to the plate, though. It's a good stance. Just take off and bet they're not going to throw over. I mean, within reason, right?
Yeah.
Huge lead by Harper, huge. He was thinking about it. That's the biggest lead I've seen him have all year. 13 feet according to StatCast, and he's usually an 11-foot guy, so 2 feet further on that. Does he go here to 1-2 count? I mean, it's almost, he had a John Lester-like lead going there at first. He was walking and creeping as Rowe delivered the pitch.
1-2 to Anthony Rendon.
Huge lead.
And the ball popped up. It is out of play, avoids all the rings and comes down.
They're talking about it right now. Tim Bogar in his ear at first. But a lot of times, as you see it with John Lester, you get too far out there, you feel uncomfortable.
Rendon over by the dugout. And our producer Chip Winfield just asked a very interesting question. If Alvarado goes back to the mound, does he get his warm-up tosses? And I think the answer is no. He's already in the game and already had his warm-up tosses. Whitey Herzog used to do this, but as you say, in the outfield with a pitcher named Ken Daly, a lefty who would go play right field for a batter and then come back in.
I just don't think Chaz Rowe's going to throw over.
Rendon swing and a miss. Now that's the first out, and here comes Kevin Cash again. So Chaz Rowe will be done, and Alvarado should go back to the mound to face Juan Soto.
Probably put Bowers back at first, put Alvarado back on the mound, and I don't think he's going to put Chaz Rowe in the outfield because Murphy's on deck and you got two lefties coming. Right. That's probably going to do it for Rowe.
I would think Carlos Gomez will come out and play left field once Bowers goes to first. We'll see what happens. So here comes Bowers back to first. Folks, you're going to have a fun time looking at the scorebook after we post it following this game, because we're making some markings here we haven't done for a long time. Looks like Carlos Gomez is going to go to right and send Malik Smith back to left field.
I mean, the Rays are creative. They start relievers and have all staff days because they only have a couple of starters. And you like that Kevin Cash is trying right here to get his matchups. I like out-of-the-box managing. I like out-of-the-box baseball. I think it's refreshing. You're just wondering if Bryce Harper was going to take advantage of the opportunity there, and were they going to throw over with a guy that's probably never played first, playing first. He had a big lead going. Looked like he was trying. But that's that. Now it's up to Juan Soto to try to do something special here. We've seen him do it before.
Yeah, and I guess regarding the warm-up tosses, he does get them. So here's Soto. He's actually hit against Alvarado. That was at home. 0 for 1, ground ball out. Tying runs at first, 1 out in the 9th.
Well, this is where Juan Soto's done damage, and it's been to left center. Seen it before. Alvarado with a good fastball. You're thinking he's thinking the other way.
That ball for center field. Rolling to second Harper. Bryce has to stop. Play right in front of him. And Juan Soto, again, in very late fashion, keeps his hitting streak alive as it goes to 10 games.
Good piece of hitting, short swing. Got it over the infield. Fastball in, the inside out. He was thinking left all the way, wasn't he? And now Daniel Murphy has a chance to do it again. He did it to the Phillies on Sunday night. And you're thinking he's thinking the other way here too. Left on left. Usually does his damage the other way in these scenarios.
And with Turner and Taylor coming up, Rays have bullpen action with a right-hander. First things first, Alvarado and Murphy strike 1.
Got crossed up. Wilson Ramos called for off speed, got a fastball right there, and he's lucky he caught it at 97. They're going to talk it over. Well, here's Sunday night. Daniel Murphy. Clutch. Slider down. I don't know how he hit it. Just kind of massaged it over second base, smoothed it out there, and that was the big knock that put the Nats ahead in the 8th inning. Nats trying to snatch one here in the 9th.
1 ball, 1 strike. This one out to left, falling, and the bases are going to be loaded with 1 out. So Alvarado fails to get any of the left-handers he faces this inning. He walked Harper, gave up hits to Soto and Murphy, and here comes Kevin Cash again to go to the right side of his bullpen.
Oh, Trey Turner gonna see a bunch of sliders.
Here comes Sergio. One out. Trey Turner is 0 for 1 career against 35-year-old Sergio Romo. He has 5 saves for them this year. He's made 5 starts.
There's so much going on right now. Kevin Cash got his infield in. He knows that Trey Turner's not a double play. That opens up holes for the winning run on second base or the go-ahead run to score. So Romo has a lot of sliders, 59% of the time. Usually he'll get first pitch fastball strike, go to the slider, but I think he could go right to it right here. Almost has to.
Popped up. Short right center. Rushing in Gomez. And the runners stay. 2 down. First pitch. And now it's Michael A. Taylor against Romo. Michael A. was not happy with, Sergio was not happy with Michael A. when he went over to third in a blowout game at Nationals Park. Voiced his frustration. He better put all that aside now. Got to get the hitter. Michael A. 0 for 1 career against Romo with a ground ball out. The Rays are in a shift on the left side of the infield, and the series comes down to this.
Well, if you're thinking the other way up the middle, it's a good game plan right here. And you look at the Rays, they got 3 infielders on the left side of second. That slider going away from Taylor to keep you back. Let it get deep and think about the other way.
Nationals down to their final strike. 14,289. Many Nats fans still desperate for that first run of the series.
Likes to bounce it with 2 strikes. Got to be heads up if you're on third here. He'll throw one in the dirt late.
Harper coming down the line. And the Nats have been shut out again.
Sergio Romo screaming at Michael A. Taylor. The dugouts are clearing right here, and we got action.
Adam Eaton comes charging out, and some Rays come out to meet him. And this goes back to the incident in D.C.
Yeah, I think the Nats were up by 7, and Michael A. Taylor stole third, and now we got all kinds of action going on here. Romo lost his mind. He started screaming at Taylor. He started screaming at the Nats dugout. And now he's talking the loudest, but he's the furthest away from everything.
And wide-eyed Carlos Gomez, of course, wants to be part of it.
That kind of tells you everything you need to know. I'm going to be the loudest, but I'm in the back. He walked down the mound right to Michael A. Taylor and was screaming at him. I don't think Michael A. heard him. And then he turned around when he saw the dugout, his own dugout, yelling at Romo. And then we had action. I don't think this is done yet, by the way. Oh, maybe it is. I'll show you in a second. Hold on. So strike 3 at the slider in the dirt. Good pick by Wilson Ramos. That's the baseball part of it. And then here comes the Sergio Romo part of it.
And about this point is when Adam Eaton came running out. Murphy's in Romo's face.
Murphy's saying, what is that, basically, without the expletive. There's nothing. And like Carp said, it dates back to the stolen base, but Sergio Romo just showed you what you need to see. Not a lot to say about that. And there's a lot of frustration in the third base dugout, and a pitcher that